What's up, guys? This video is about being exposed. Now, I did some research, and come to find out, you have these women that are in these houses, and they're getting vouchers. Now, for people who know about food stamps, they have a thing called Section 8 in housing. Well, they have quite a bit of these women that's in these homes, and they're getting vouchers. So vouchers, what it pretty much it pays majority of the mortgage, of the rent. I don't know if they can potentially own it. I think you can. Not to confuse it with housing. It's probably the same thing. Just a different. It's probably the same thing, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, they pay majority of the rent or the mortgage, however you want to categorize that, and then they'll pay a small portion to that. So with Section 8, they pay pretty much all your rent. You gotta pay like, I don't even know, like 1% of it or something. I heard stories about, women paying like $8, $18 a month for their rent. As far as the housing, they'll pay, I don't even know, I think like 75% of it, but again, they'll pay majority of it. So with that being said, when you see these women on social media flexing, talking about, I'm this age or whatever, or I'm a baby mom or whatever, and I was able to get a house, yada yada yada. 95% of the time, that's the reason. Unless she's a realtor and she's responsible with her money, like most women, they're not responsible with their money. That's a different story. But if she has something legit, like, that's the thing too. When you meet them, I know I'm gonna say this too, because guys get intimidated. Well, people get intimidated when someone's doing better than them, or they, not necessarily competition, but when they're doing good in life. I'll say that. But I'm talking about guys only. I know you guys. A lot of guys are intimidated by women who actually, have their own stuff, whether it's an apartment, a car, they got a job or a career, and on top of that, if they doing better than you. I understand. I hear that. Now, I'm not saying it's gonna make you. I'm not saying you jealous or nothing like that. You got some people who are jealous. Some guys who are jealous. You got some guys who's intimidated. That's two different things or whatever. Envious. I guess you can throw that word in there as well. But that's the truth. It's a lot of guys out here that's envious, jealous. They have hatred towards women who are actually independent. As Beyonce. That's a child you say back in the day. But that's the hard-on truth. So, if you want to know if it's baloney or not, if you meet them or whatever, like they said, they gonna throw it in your face, bro. They gonna throw it in your face. You ain't gotta ask me. They gonna throw it in your face. Remember, it doesn't count if you don't own it. I made a post about this online like a couple years ago, and everybody jumped on me. And this is reality. Get your feelings out of it. I understand you quote unquote a new homeowner, first time homeowner, this and that. I understand, but it does not matter until you actually get the slip, until you actually pay the house out in full. Anybody can go, get a government assistance down payment or whatever, first time home buyer program. I know a lady who's on that right now who did it. Anybody can do that. Anybody can come up with a nice down payment and go ahead and you showing the keys and this and that. I get it. There's nothing wrong with that. But as far as you saying you're a new homeowner or you're a homeowner, you're not. You haven't even made one payment yet. You haven't even filed the insurance, home insurance yet. But you over here boasting and bragging online to my first. No, you're not. You ain't make the first payment. You don't own that house. And when you tell them that, they get upset. It's like getting a car. Oh yeah, I bought me a brand new car. Oh, you're making payments on a brand new car. You don't own it. It's not yours until you pay it out. They want to argue with me. And I tell them the quickest way to shut that down, okay, miss 2 to 3 payments. And we're going to see if you're still going to be online talking about your house or your brand new car. Miss 2 or 3 payments, see what happened. That's the thing. So don't let these females intimidate you, because a lot of times it's not always what you think it is, especially if a female. Bro, ask them. Y'all guys are scared to ask them. I'm going to say this. You're not scared to ask them a question. You can't give them ask a question because they always blasting you with demands and stuff, so you forget to ask them questions. That's really what it is. You're not scared to ask them questions. You just so caught up in them blasting questions at you. Demands always you do this and how much money you make, blah blah blah. You forget to ask them questions. No, ask them. Okay, that's a nice house. All right, how much it costs? All right, what's your interest rates looking like? Oh, okay, that's cool. Well, what you do for a living? Ask them a simple question. Because that's the same question they're going to ask them on the application. So you can't answer the same question. No, ask them the same questions they got to put on the application. And then they start, like I tell you guys all the time, they start getting the attitude, they start getting dismissive and all stuff like that. You already know what it is. She about you, baby, bro. It's about you. I hear stories about guys, and this been happening. Guys, like I say, paying the rent for some female all the way, and she's still cheating on you the whole nine. Guys been doing, they still doing that. But I'm gonna say this: if you go that route as far as living with a female, make sure your name is on the lease. Make sure your name is actually on the contract for the house or on the mortgage. Make sure whether you're sleeping in the RV or you're in a trailer home, or whatever like that. Make sure your name is actually on the paperwork before you even start doing that. Me personally, you already know where I'm going with that, so I'm not going to answer it. Speak for myself. You can do what you want to do. But if you decide to go down that road, make sure your name is on the paperwork. I don't care what she's saying, if she's stalling you out or whatever like that. No. If y'all really together, whatever, especially if you're gonna pay the name, if you're gonna pay the bills, your name need to be on all that so you get your credit up. If anything, if she's not helping, your name need to be on all that if you're not helping. So that's the thing right there you need to worry about. But like I tell you guys right now, because I'm gonna say this too, and I'm not shaming nobody, bro. Like I say, get it how you can. But when you try to make it seem like you got it like that and you don't, I'm gonna expose you. People like me are still alive. I know you guys hate us. That's what it is, especially females. Because they like to lie, they play these games. It's people like me still alive. Even when whenever I decide to leave the earth, it's still gonna be someone that's gonna replace me. That's just reality. That's why y'all always shame the people in the family, because y'all don't want to be around the truth. I understand. I'll be the black sheep of the family. I have no problem with that. But anyway, moving forward, I'm not shaming you if you're on Section 8, if you're on food stamps, if you're on housing or whatever like that. That's your business. I'm not Blade the welfare hunter. I don't go around. I don't care. That's what it is. Like, hey, get it how you live. Now, if you decide to take advantage of the actual government assistance, like I say, you don't supposed to be on Section 8 all your life. You don't supposed to be on your daughter don't supposed to be on Section 8. Your great granddaughter supposed to be on Section 8. You see what I'm saying? You got people who abuse the system. But move that to the side. Again, I'm not shaming you if you're on government assistance programs, whatever. That's your business. But I ran across this old lady. I had a delivery, a huge furniture delivery, delivered to this lady house. Well, the first sign was she didn't give us the access code, which is like, we doing delivery, especially something on that. It's like that's a given. But I'm just that raised suspicion. I'm gonna say that not everybody do that. I understand probably for safety concerns, but the business I do is like that's a given. So when she didn't do that, I'm like, all right. I said, well, I called her. I said, man, we need access to get inside. Can you just give us the code? She was like, this call the number on the dial pad. And I was like, okay. Didn't hesitate. I said, okay. Had it on the phone and she didn't do that. I was like, all right. So I looked her up. Guess what? Her name wasn't on the dial pad. I'm like, huh. So, of course, eventually, you had to wait. People will come in and out. So people came in. I trailed them, got her in the gate. We made it to the doorstep. She came out. And I'm like, huh, something don't look right. So I'm going to say this, as far as what I'm saying, like, okay, what do you mean by that? This is an older lady. She's in her 60s, bro. And the neighborhood we was in, the gated community. And these are all new houses. I'm talking about like all new houses. We ain't talking about no, we're not talking about affordable houses. I'll say that because I don't want to step on nobody's toes. Not in this video. Well, any more toes. I'm already stepping on toes. Brand new community. The houses are top notch. These ain't no little cheap houses. This was a 2-story house. It was a big house. Now, of course, where I live, the houses get crazy out here. But it was a big house. I'll keep it like that. So she came outside, and I'm like, huh, something don't look right. So, but this why something, because the stuff I do, bro. You start to pick up stuff. As you live, you're supposed to learn, right? So I'm steady living. I make my mistakes, but I'm steady learning. But anyway, so she came outside, and I'm like, something don't look right. This is a brand new house. This ain't no old house. This house was built like probably a couple years ago. They finally built, this neighborhood, the gated community. And I'm like, something don't look right. So she automatically in her 60s. So she's about 65 years old. She walked out this big old brand new house, and she was like, "Oh, I see you didn't use a dial pad." I said, "Yeah, your name wasn't on the list." And she automatically got mad And she's like, oh, it's on the list. And I'm like, hey, whatever, you know, I'm just trying to drop the stuff off and leave. So I noticed that. I'm like, okay, that was 3 signs. You didn't have the access code. You know, they have the guests and they have the, you know, the regular code for the residents or whatever like that. So you didn't have the access code. Your name wasn't on the lease, and you're almost 70 years old walking out of this big brand new house. It wasn't no, like I said, it wasn't no cheap house. So automatically I started thinking, I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm like, something ain't adding up. I always try to figure out what's going on. Now, at the end of the day, it don't matter in my house. I don't care. But when something like that happens, because this is how it is with, you know, my day-to-day thing. Like if something comes up, I always got to figure stuff out. This is how it is, you know, where I go to work every day. I always got to figure stuff out. So that's just part of, you know, just my daily routine. Like whether it's work related or not, it's just what it is. Like on a day-to-day basis, I always got to figure something out. Nothing ever goes as planned. You know, I'm not saying it's something catastrophic, but whether it's big or small or tiny or whatever, or like I say, it's not even related to what I got going on. It's just if I see something that don't look right, I always try to figure out, like, hey, what's going on with this, you know, this picture what's going on with this picture. So anyway, I saw that, and that's the thing too. A lot of guys like, okay, you know, ain't nothing wrong with that. She an old lady, and she got a brand new house. That's not the fact. You guys have to understand, because, you know, I deal with millionaires all the time, bro. Like it has to make sense. Millionaires don't do, like, it's certain ways they move, if that makes sense. So this is a prime example. The fact that that woman is 65 years or older, and she can't, you know, she was in this big brand new house, unless she hit the lotto, she would be in that house. Now, if she did hit the lotto, okay, why are you in this house? Now, of course, some people be like, oh, you know, she probably owns some businesses or something like that. That's the thing with houses. You know, if you actually have money, rich people, we you want to call them rich, wealthy, or whatever, the house they have, like, the house they start off before they start making money, that's a different story. But once they start making money, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna level up. You know how it is. They're gonna start. They can live a better lifestyle. So the next house they buy is gonna be their forever home. You know, if they manage their money right, all this stuff like that, that's gonna be their forever home. They're gonna be there for a long time. People who have money, they don't be going to house to house and house. They don't do that. If you see or hear people doing that, that's because they broke. AKA rappers. They do it all the time. They overspend. They think it's all good, you know, all gravy. And then when they album sales hit the fucking floor, that's when they start, you know, oh, let me go over here. They try to play it out like, nah, you ain't got no money. You couldn't afford it. And they remember, majority of them don't have money, bro. They look like they have money. Ask me, I've been around them guys. Anyway, but not to make the story longer, they're gonna stay there in their next house. That's a forever house. They're gonna be there for a long time. So what I'm getting at, you're not gonna see old people, oh, let me go get a brand new house. No. They don't do that. The house they get, once they start making money, that's gonna be it. They don't know. They good. They already got that figured out. So the fact that she was there, and like I said, the house, that neighborhood just been built. It wasn't even there for 3 years. Like they finally finished it. But they've been working on it for a while. But like I said, that neighborhood hadn't been there for 3 years. So for her being so old and she been in that house, it wasn't adding up. And then all of a sudden, you know, I'm going through social media, this whatever, and I'm hearing people post videos about vouchers, because, you know, they like I say, the guys over there paying mortgage, paying rent for some female, and their name ain't on the paperwork, and then come to find out she been scamming them for 2-3 years. You know, her mortgage was $150, but he been paying $15. So that's the thing I'm telling you guys about. So obviously she's on a voucher, not saying she's not a successful business owner or she didn't hit the lotto, but the chances, and that's the thing too, bro. Like, you don't need to be a rocket science to be a successful business owner. You know, I understand that, but again, it's certain ways these people move, bro. It's certain ways they walk, certain words they use. It's a lot of stuff, bro. It's a lot of little detailed stuff that the average person will overlook. So she, you know, I'm looking at it, you know, I'm seeing, I'm like, nah, this don't look right. So that's what it is. She on a voucher. You know what I mean? Like I say, no hate towards her, but that's what it is. She on a voucher. So guys, when you out here, you see, you know, that's why I tell you guys all the time, we see on social media, most of that stuff is bogus, bro. Don't be falling for the okie doke. So in her case, she said, you know, it's all this stuff that started coming together after I figured it out. So she on a voucher, you know, she got the house or whatever. Will she pay it off? No, because that house is automatically 400 grand and up. You know what I mean? Especially now, I mean, probably when they first, before the pandemic and all stuff like that happened, it was less, but the house automatically 400 and up. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure it's 5. But whatever, like I say, she ain't gonna pay it off. But it don't matter because she only gonna be alive for so many more decades, and then she gonna roll over. But it doesn't matter. As long as at the end of the day, she enjoying her brand new big house. A voucher probably $150, $200. She using her SSI check, you know what I mean? To pay that, and she probably on, most likely she probably on other government assistance as well. You know what I mean? Because she damn sure ain't working no more. That's the truth. So if you meet a young, that's the thing too. You have young people who's doing good in life. You know, you got some people, you know, who made the right moves, and then, you know what I'm saying, the universe just worked out for them right away. They ain't had to figure nothing out. Their parents probably had a plan for them as soon as they was born. They actually followed the plan. They didn't detour. They didn't go off the road at all. They just stuck to the plan and it worked for them. You have young people who's doing that. Now, on top of that, you have some people, you know, go businesses and stuff like that. So I'm not saying if you see a young woman in a nice house that she on the voucher or she on housing, not necessarily that. Because you actually have people, you know, females who's successful. That's all there is to it. Now I'm gonna say this. Now she'll be a bragging, you know, at the end of the day, bro, ghetto people, they all act the same, they all do the same. So it ain't hard to figure out what they got going on, because they all act the same, bro. It ain't hard to figure out. So if she on social media taking a whole bunch of pictures and just bragging and talking down on dudes, keyword, always talking down on men and nobody bothering her, that's a telltale sign that she on some kind of government assistance for that mortgage. And then on top of that, when they do get on there, the ones that do get on there, they'll mess it up. I'm like, bro, how are you late? How are you late on rent? You 5 months behind. I would have been kicked you out, but since you're on the government assistance, they know the landlords really ain't gonna kick you out right away because they know that's guaranteed money. So you 3-4 months behind, your rent is $20 a month. That's the thing I be talking about. That be them ghetto people. I'm like, hey, y'all just don't want to win. But yeah, they don't appreciate what they have. So when you, like I say, you see a young lady or whatever, or just a woman in general, you gotta remember, bro, the average homeowner is gonna be a dude. Now it's different because I know the houses market's all jacked up, but if you do your research, you can get deals, bro. But I don't want to stretch the video longer than what I have to. But if you see a female that has a home, and I'm gonna say this too, you can look at people. This may sound, I don't know. You can look at people, you can kind of tell if that goes together, right? Like I tell you guys, if you see a fat dude, a fat bald head dude in a Ferrari, that's gonna like something going on. But if you see a slim dude, you know, he got a nice haircut, he all GQ in a Ferrari, you won't second guess it. That's what I'm saying. It's something that like your mind your senses will trigger. It's like, something don't look right. She a 49-year-old baby mama. She got a whole bunch of kids running around, and she in this big old nice house. That's when you got, like stuff like that. So it's like something ain't adding up. So that's all it is to it, man. But like I said, you see them females and, she got a nice house or whatever like that, and she it's not always what you think it is. And, she got a nice house, you're like, damn, I can't afford it. She can't either, but she on the government assistance helping her pay the mortgage. So that's what I'm telling you guys. Don't think that she out your league because what you see, ask her questions. You see, like I say, most broke people, they love Mercedes. Like you gonna find the average broke person in a Mercedes. Not all of them, but that's something about a Mercedes. Broke people, that's a broke person magnet. It's a Mercedes. I know Mercedes. You see the commercials. They never advertise that to broke people, but for some reason, a Mercedes Benz is a broke person's magnet. They are 4 or 5 months behind on a car note. They ducking and dodging the repo, man. Ask me how I know. They don't have insurance on it. If anything, they got liability. Ask me how I know. Oh, and then you got a couple lights on the dash. You know what I mean? Like they ain't gonna. That's just what it is. It's just like you wouldn't know until you actually do the research. That's all it is. We meet these females, and I'm gonna say this to wrap all this up. If it looks too good to be true, more than likely it is. That's just reality. So that's the thing too. Like I said, all this stuff comes. It all flows together, bro. She got a nice house. She a baby mama, or maybe she's she not a baby mama. Something don't feel right. You'll feel it. And then you just like, man, I don't know. Does it look good? But something don't look right. Ask her questions. Okay, well, this is a nice house. How much you put down? How much is it? And we start asking her detailed questions. Eventually you're going to catch on to a BS. So they're going to start getting mad. And they ain't going to want to answer the question. They're going to try to dismiss shit. Oh, stay out my business, this and that. You like, I'm just trying to ask. I want to get a house like this too. It's like that. You ain't coming at a rule. You just asking legitimate questions. Like I said, the same questions they asked on the application. You can ask the same question too. If she get bent out of shape, automatically you already know she on government assistance. A lot of females like that, bro. Like, they don't want to tell you. Again, that's like them females that be they be getting child support and alimony. Oh, I don't need no man. Yes, you do. The man is supporting you. You ain't together, but he's still supporting you. Take away that child support and alimony and see what happens. Those same females who online talking that crap. And the whole time they on government assistance and they get child support the whole nine. So when you see a woman and she look like she doing great or whatever, at some point in time, if y'all talking, start asking the question. You ain't gotta give her a whole list right off the back, but start picking, start shooting questions at her here and there, and you'll find the right answer. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying all of them, but like 85% of them are living like that, bro. It doesn't make any sense. Like, what's your work history? What's your credit score? You know what I mean? What the first question I'm gonna ask, what you do for a living? I'm gonna find everything I need to know. What you do for a living? Oh, you know, I'm a assistant advisor for a rep company service. Okay, so you work customer service. Okay, got you. That's what they do. They'll never tell you exactly what they do. They'll try to sugarcoat it and cover it up. No. You work for customers. You're a customer representative for AT&T. I got you. And you're on the government assistance. That's what's helping you pay your mortgage. And more than likely, 9 times out of 10, she ain't gonna have no furniture in the house. If she do, it gonna be some ran down furniture from Walmart. That's all it is too. So anyway, guys, if you got any questions, any concerns, leave them down below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And no matter what, I'll take your peace, your pockets, and your purpose.